Hello everybody, this is Shadow and welcome to Arkham Horror the card game. Today we're continuing the Dunwich Legacy with Roland Carolyn in Undimensioned and Unseen. Last time on Blood in the Altar, things didn't go so well. Carolyn took a physical trauma, so now she starts with 2 damage on her. But Roland was able to, instead of collecting all the clues, he was able to shoot the heck out of a Silas Bishop, I believe. So we ended up with 4 experience, and both Roland and Carolyn got 2 copies of Well Prepared. Now the bad thing for Carolyn is she drew a Cursed Fate last game, so now the Bell Tolls is in her deck. We'll shuffle that crazy so we don't get it. Knock on wood. So there's Roland's 2 Well Prepareds. Roland also now has Francis Morgan in his deck. And we picked up the Powder of Ibn Ghazi because Armitage and Francis were both alive. So if you had any one of the 3, Armitage, Rice, or Morgan, you'll get the Powder of Ibn Ghazi for one of your players. So, without further ado, let us read Scenario 5, Undimensioned and Unseen. Your search of the village of Dunwich has uncovered a number of documents, journal entries, and esoteric theories. Reading through these materials leaves you exhausted and emotionally drained. Most of the content was written by a single source, a man named Seth Bishop. When you ask around town, you learn that Seth is a citizen of Dunwich. Along with several others, Seth had witnessed firsthand the devastation wrought by the events of the Dunwich Horror, as Armitage had dubbed the incident. Curiously, since that time, very few people had seen Seth around town, and those who did claimed his eyes had been bloodshot and his face sweaty and pale. You don't doubt that somebody who has seen what Seth has seen would appear nervous or paranoid, but the more you read of his frantic, unhinged writings, the more you believe he is involved in recent events. His writings speak of having gathered the remains, and of using arcane methods to imbue the Father's essence into other creatures and eventually into other people. The explanations and diagrams that follow are unfathomably complex and defy understanding. Before you are able to find Seth and confront him, several men and women from the village approach you in a panic. "It's back!" one of them wails. You recognize him as Curtis Whiteley of the Undecayed branch. "Whatever it was that killed them flies, it's back! Up and smashed the bishop's home like it was made of paper!" Curtis and the other townsfolk are clamoring amongst themselves, raising their voices in a panic. Okay, so we have to decide to try to calm the townsfolk in order to learn more, or try to warn the townsfolk and convince them to evacuate. So they were attacked a few months ago, and they know the creature was killed. So, honestly, if they really wanted to evacuate, they'd be doing it now. Like, I know they're, upset. So I think it's best we try to learn more, and then if they're going to evacuate, they're going to evacuate. But these guys seem pretty stubborn and might defend their home. So let's go with part 1. Try to calm down the townsfolk. You aim to calm the townsfolk so they can explain to you what is going on. They inform you that there is a rumbling to the north, and when they went to investigate, they found the bishop's farmhouse had been torn to shreds. A trail of heavy tracks led into the nearby Cold Spring Glen. "You know what to do, right? You Arkham folk stopped that thing last time," one of the townsfolk says. Why is he British? I don't know. Curtis shakes his head and bites his lip. "We couldn't have seen that hellish thing until the old professor sprayed their powder on it," he says. To this day I wish I hadn't seen it at all. Something must be done to stop the monster's rampage, but if the documents you found are true, there may be more than one such creature on the loose. Record in your campaign log that you calmed the townsfolk. Okay. Calmed the townsfolk. Okay. Alright, gather all the encounter cards. Done. Put one of the 2 versions into play at random. So there's the locations. Remove the other version of the locations from the game. Each investigator begins play in Dunwich Village. Which I believe is here, yeah. So there's 2 here, and I'm just gonna layer them And press the shuffle an odd number of times for each one. We'll collect them, because I believe these are used again for something else. Okay, what's next? Check the number of names under Sacrifice Yogg-Sothoth. So we have 3. There are exactly 3 names listed. Put 1 copy of Brood of Yogg-Sothoth into play in Cold Spring Glen, 2 copies set aside, and 2 out of play. Okay, or 2 removed from the game. Those are the ones removed. This is the one in the Cold Spring Glen. These 2 are set aside. Amazing. Okay. Let's have Roland. We'll have Roland be lead again. Might as well. Alright. Set each copy of Esoteric Formula aside out of play. Investigator with the Powder of Imangazi in his or her deck may search his or her deck for it and put it into play. So it's right here. Power gains X clues, where X is the number of characters who survived, and that was 2. 1, 2. Okay. An investigator with the Powder of Imangazi. Yeah, we did that. Each investigator searches a collection for a random basic madness, injury, or pact weakness. Ba ba ba. It's that point of the campaign. Alright, Roland. Self-centered? You cannot commit cards to other investigators. Oh, it's a flaw. Can't use that one. Ah, there you go. Drawing the sign. Your maximum hand size is reduced by 5 while checking your hand size during the upkeep phase. Discard drawing the sign. And Carolyn gets... Nope. That's the one. Secretly add this card to your hand. When the game ends and you are eliminated, you earn 2 fewer experience. After you successfully investigate a location with no clues on it, discard... Oh, that's easy for her. Could have been way worse. I think there's one for each aspect, so could you imagine the fight or fight or evade would have been terrible for her. We have a little freeze. So that goes in your deck. That goes in your deck. Shuffle it deep. Okay. I think we're close to starting. Yeah, alright. Agenda 1A. Rampaging creatures. Reports of terrifying entities wreaking havoc across the countryside have caused the citizens of Dunwich to panic. Worse, the creatures seem to be invisible to the naked eye. Forced effect: at the end of the enemy phase, move each Brood of Yogg-Sothoth enemy once towards a random location. Do we read the random location rules? Oh, there they are. During this scenario, you'll be often instructed to choose a random location. This should be done by shuffling together the 6 locations removed from the game during setup and drawing 1 at random. So, they're here. If I do this... Oh, cool. We'll do that. And then we'll just, like, move it. Alright. Okay. Act 1's ShadowSlayerX script. The monsters tearing through Dunwich County... I always want to say country. Act 1A ShadowSlayerX script. The monsters tearing through Dunwich County are immune to traditional weapons. Only by reciting a particular incantation can the creatures be defeated. First, you must search the ruins of Wilbur Whately's home in order to find the final sections of the otherworldly script. Objective: only investigators at Whately ruins may spend the requisite number of clues as a group to advance, which is 2 per investigator, which means 4. And Dunwich Village reads, it's an excerpt from the story The Dunwich Horror. It is always a relief to get clear of the place and to follow the narrow road around the base of the hills and across the level country beyond till it rejoins the Aylesbury Pike. Afterward, one sometimes learns that one has been through Dunwich. Okay. 3 shroud, 1 clue. Action: resign. You hide from the creatures, and a fast action: you borrow some hounds to track creatures by scent. An investigator in Dunwich Village may place 1 of his or her clues on an abomination enemy in play. Group limit once per game. Okay. Let's see. Roland, we already shuffled, but I'll do it one more time. Say your prayers, alright. I don't know how good Pathfinder... Like, it seems like it would be good. I feel like it'd be better later. But I only have one of them in the deck, so it's good to have. These two, I think, are going to work very well together. Getting agency back up into play is kind of important. And Carolyn could help later with teamwork. So, if that's the case, he won't be really focusing on investigating at first. And we're going to keep Say Your Prayers just to keep us alive at the beginning. So let's draw one card. Alright, that's not a bad one. There we go. Alright, Carolyn. Nope. I might even do Flashlight just to, like, guarantee some stuff. Wait, what am I doing? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, because that's no good. We're gonna put that back. We're gonna put that back. Gonna put that back. Gonna keep those two. That's good. All right. I could play Ever Vigilant. I think that's a good start, actually. Yeah. Well. Yes, if we play Ever Vigilant, we can get the key, Well Prepared, and Flashlight into play, which I think is a decent move. And then we'll be able to get Shriveling out soon. And Roland can buff himself up a little bit with some emergency cash. Yeah, I think that's the way to start. Okay, Roland. Emergency cash. Thompson. So there's 5 of these. Okay. Gain a resource. Could try to get the clue to help out. That wouldn't be half bad. Now let's gain a resource. We're gonna be needing a lot of money. Alright, Carolyn. Gonna do a similar thing. Play Ever Vigilant. Spending all of our money. So, first, this gets reduced to 3. Which gives us +1 to both our stats. Next up, we're gonna play Flashlight. Which gets 3 of these. For 1. So, and then we're going to play Well Prepared for 1. That's all the first action. Now I wish I could also play Emergency Cash, but I'm pretty sure we can't. Yeah. Because it costs an exhaust of this card to play a card set here, so that's why you can't. Right. Well, that was just 1. Might as well investigate. Let's try to get this clue. So we're 5 to 3. Oh, I have the wrong scenario cards. Let's read the new scenario cards. Undimensioned Unseen. The Skull. -1 for each brood in play. Cultist. Reveal another token if you fail. Take 1 horror. Tablet. 0. You must either remove all clue tokens from a brood, or this becomes a -4. And then the Elder Sign. -3, if this token is revealed during an attack or evasion, it immediately attacks you. The brood attacks you. Okay, we're investigating 5 to 3. Huh! We get it. And I'm going to gain a resource as my last action. Okay. Is the enemy phase. And at the end of the enemy phase, it's moving to the Blasted Heath. So it's equidistant. No, it's not equidistant. Oh, crap. Shoot. Alright. So we're both... It's on the same location as both of us. Now, the way this one works... Did I read the brood? 6 fight, 1 health, 3 evade. Monster Abomination, who's massive. He gets +1 health per investigator, so he's actually 3 health, and cannot be damaged or attacked except using the ability on Esoteric Formula. I believe there's a chance of putting it out of business. So the problem is, unless we evade it, to run away, which we can do, like just a move action away from it, we get hit for 2 health, 2 horror, which would kill Roland. Just outright. So what I think we're going to have to do... Oh, she got the clue! No! I can't even Inquiring Mind to escape. Oh boy. Alright, well let's see if we can draw something here. Well, Vicious Blow would be cool, but... Word of Protection. Alright, well, we might want to use that sooner than later. What terrible luck has befallen us? Did I shuffle? Well, we shuffle now. Ruin and Destruction. If there are no investigators at the same location as the Brood of Yogg-Sothoth, Ruin and Destruction gains Surge. Otherwise, each investigator at the same location tests 3 agility for each point he or she fails by. He or she takes 1 damage. What the crap? I have to take this on the chin because it's more important to evade. Oh no. Okay, so he takes 2 damage, which he can handle. Carolyn, however, see, she can't even cancel it because she didn't draw it, but she's getting affected by it. Oh boy. No. Okay. Ooh. I mean, Carolyn was doing pretty bad already. But, cool. Lupine Thrall. 4 fight, 3 health, 4 evade. Creature monster abomination spawn farthest location from you. It preys on the lowest agility, which is both of us, as Hunter and Retaliate. What manner of wolf has that many teeth? That goes here, or here. Put it here. Because it seems farther away. Well. Whoops. Okay, maybe this idea wasn't so good. Okay, there we go, that's fine. Alright. We have a conundrum. We have a conundrum, because anything we do is a problem. They will both die. They both die if they don't evade, is the problem. We need a +1 on both of them, naturally. Roland has 1 card that can help. Carolyn has 1 card that can help. So do we commit to one of the... Like, do we put both cards to one person's chance? Or do we try to go for 2 chances at a tie? Because there are only 4 tokens that will do it on a tie. If we commit both, then... Well, I guess we count this as a retry, so maybe 5 tokens at 0. If we commit both, that is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, you know what? Do or die. We're committing Pathfinder. This is going to be Roland doing it. Committing Pathfinder, committing Ward of Protection for a 4 to a 3. Whoa! Holy Schniza. Evaded. I'm so tempted to double move. Man. If we both double move here, the Lupine Thrall will come down. It'll deal 1/1, which Roland can take, but Carolyn cannot. And I can choose it to... Okay, we're okay if we do that. If we go here, there's a 1 in 6 chance it'll follow us. So, you know what? Let's take our chances in the Cold Spring Glen. Oops. Well, now we know there's 2 clues there. Cold Spring Glen, another excerpt from the Dunwich Horror. "Gold," he gasped. "I told him not to go down into the glen. I never thought anybody do it with them tracks and them smelling the whippoorwills all screeching down there in the dark of noonday." Beautiful. Each enemy in the Cold Spring Glen gets -1 evade. Okay, this is the place to be. Fast action, you lure the creature into the dense tree cover and it becomes tangled. Investigators in Cold Spring Glen may as a group place up to 2 of their clues on an abomination enemy in the Cold Spring Glen. Limit once per game. Okay, move. I can't do anything, eh? Oh, I can play custom ammo. I know I wanted to play the... Oh no. Should have had Carolyn go first. Because this could soak up so much. I could survive. But when this thing comes down, I won't be able to one-shot it unless I have custom ammo. Okay. Custom ammo it is. It's 2 more bullets. But now I have the magic blessed. That should level 5 Thompson should be the blessed Thompson. Okay, fifth action was play another card from stick to the plan. Carolyn will move. She doesn't have any healing yet. I had well prepared. Yeah, it doesn't really do much. Alright, let's investigate a 5 to a 3. Oops. Cool. That's 1 clue. And I'm going to tap well prepared, which gets plus X skill for where X is the number of matching skill icons from a chosen asset, so we'll choose the flashlight. Oh, I have a flashlight. I'm so dumb. Do I just want to use the flashlight? I'm a 6 to a 3. Could still fail. Now let's go. We'll save the last charge. We'll save these charges for like when we're in trouble. Oh, we got a lag. Elder sign. Roland. Oops. Heal. Gain a resource. And we get a clue. Cool. We're almost there. Because we need to go to the Waitley Ruins. Alright, enemy phase, Hunter's Hunt. You do not. You can't move because you're exhausted. Upkeep. Draw a card. The Enchanted Blade. We hadn't used you / seen you. Death! Not bad. Too bad I can't play any of all this. Okay. Everything's back up. Mythos. We cannot play assets or events. Okay. I mean, that sucks, but... Towering Beasts. Attached to a brood of Yogg-Sothoth enemy in play. If that enemy is at your location, take 1 damage. It gets +1 fight, +1 health. Yikes. Well, that's not good. So now it's a 4 health? Yeah. Okay, who goes first? Very important. It has to be Roland, because we gotta kill this thrall. So Roland is going to, sure, move up, engage, which is automatically engaged. And then we shoot, so we take off 1 bullet to gain 1 resource. And we are now at 6 fight. Oh, 6 to a 4. Oh, actually. Pause. Waitley Ruins. It was as though a house launched by an avalanche had slid down through the tangled growths of the almost vertical slope. Whoa. Each investigator Waitley Ruins gets -1 willpower. Crap. As an action, test 4 intellect. If you're successful, move a brood of Yogg-Sothoth enemy 1 location in any direction. Ooh, that's helpful. The ancient and arcane tomes found within the Waitley ruins hold the secrets to manipulating the monsters. It was very important I did that, because now I know there are clues on it, and I can commit Inquiring Mind. So by committing Inquiring Mind, I will be doing 1, 2, 3 damage, and I am now a 9 to a 4. Didn't need it, but I feel better. Okay. Move, fight, investigate? I guess. Or do I draw a card? If I investigate, can I... It's not an action. Okay, I'll investigate. Luck's not on my side, but... Oh my god! Or is it? Alright, we're gonna do this. I don't know what the outcome is, but we're doing it. So we have 4 clues, which we're spending. Wait, we spend them, right? Yeah. Act 1B, obtaining the formula. If Dr. Armitage survived the Dunwich Legacy... There! Armitage sighs a breath of relief, jotting down the last phrases of the formula. I have translated the last of it. He shudders as he hands you the script, the words conjuring forth memories of his battle with the creature. I hope this is the last time I'll have to read it, he admits. But if we do nothing, the end result will be much, much worse. Cool, and we both get an esoteric formula. We can fight back! Thank Christ. I don't know who's better suited, probably Carolyn. So the esoteric formula reads, fight. This attack uses your willpower instead of fight, and you get +2 willpower for this attack for each clue on the attacked enemy. Use this ability only on an abomination enemy. Negotium perambulans on tenebris. Cool. Cool. Act 2A, they must be destroyed. With the formula in hand, you finally have the means to destroy the creatures wreaking havoc in Dunwich, but only if you can survive long enough. The objective, defeat as many Brood of Yogg-Sothoth enemies as you can. If there are no copies of Brood of Yogg-Sothoth in play or set aside, advance. So we have 2 set aside. Yikes. Okay, that was all Roland. Carolyn will move. Now these clues are pretty important. Not that they weren't before, but... Do I give Roland the teamwork now, or... No, because if I get this death out, I can get these clues a lot easier. And I do want to use these flashlight. If I use the flashlight... Oh, this is a 2 location. I am okay with that. Okay. Second action. Putting out the death, and we're going to investigate for last action. Cool. Clues are important. What are the abilities we have? So we have to the abomination has to... Oh, that's up. The abomination has to be here for that ability. They don't have to be at the same location for Dunwich Village, and then we can check out what the other ones do. Okay, cool. Enemy phase, we only have the Brood, who moves to the Cold Spring Glen. Oh boy, do we like jump on this now? Because we can move 2 once a game to him. Carolyn only has 1. So, in a perfect world, Carolyn gets 1. She actually has 2 shots. Okay, so Carolyn gains a clue, moves, fight. But she would only deal 1 damage. Right? Oh, that's kinda lame. She could gain a clue, move down. Can she take a hit? No, she can't. God. I don't know. Let's figure it. Let's just trudge along here. Okay, Roland gets well prepared. That's pretty good. Carolyn dies. No! This is not going to bode well. Carolyn is dead. Revelation. The hour of your demise has arrived. You are killed. It is meant for you. It always has been. Yikes. So she sees this thing in the Cold Spring Glen after running from it once. She sees that her demise is here. And she literally just falls over dead. Well, that happened. We will continue, but it's not gonna go well. This is gone. A ruin and destruction. If there are no investigators at the same location as Broods, gain surge. We've seen this, so it gains surge. Surge. It moves one moves once towards you, and it gains surge. This is just like the end, like, you know. The creature strikes. You must either choose one. Take 2 horror, which I guess I could, or spawn another one, and another one. Let's spawn another one. Ooh. In the Cold Spring Glen. And another one. Well, I can't even kill this one, like, if I successfully hit it. Wait, hold on. No, this just helps me hit it. But I will survive an attack from the damn thing. Okay. We're gonna move some stuff. So when it moved to me, right, in the Mythos phase, there's a player window. So I'm going to move a clue to the Brood. Okay. Is there another page of this? Because you can trigger these whenever, right? Okay, so I'm putting both on him. So the esoteric formula reads, for each clue on it, you get +2. So my attack would be a 7 to a 7. What the crap? But I could play Saber. But that's just for one attack. I need to hit it so many times. Does anything have a symbol? No, of course it doesn't. I'm 7 to a 7, man. I need to get more clues on it, but I can't get more clues. Now this doesn't work because it can only take damage from esoteric formula, right? Cannot be damaged or attacked except using the ability. Well, there is a resign somewhere, yeah? I say we resign. There's no surviving this. there was maybe a chance if it didn't have the towering beasts, maybe like a very small chance. So I'd be a 7 to a 6, and I could buff my chances once, twice max. If I somehow got the agency back up into play, I could take 2 more brood hits with this. So like, I could even say I had enough and I put it into play. I would take a hit to put it into play, and I could take 2 more hits doing things, but I don't see this going well at all. Alright. Officially, Carolyn's dead. So canonically, we could say a second one appeared. This one came over, devours Carolyn. Roland freaks out due to his PTSD from Irmadoth, and he goes 1, 2. We'll flip that for posterity or whatever, which would have been a 3 shroud. So he goes 1, 2, and resigns because he can't take it. Well, that went sideways really quickly. Like, Carolyn died, there was no chance. Should we have a 1v1 against the Brood to see how we would have done? We were a 7 to a 7, right? Let's just say he didn't have a Towering Beast, so 7 to a 6. Oh shoot, okay. Bam. 7 to a 6. We'll commit Say Your Prayers. Bam. And then we'll commit Agency Backup because it doesn't matter. 8 to a 6. Oh! We would have killed a Brood. But not really because he had Towering Beast, so. Because that gives him +1 health. Alright. We had to resign. I hate doing it, but it sometimes is the only choice. If no resolution was reached, each investigator resigned or was defeated, go to Resolution 1. You did all you could to stop the rampaging monsters, but there were more of them than you realized, and you weren't able to slay them all. Exhausted and terrified, you retreat to Zebulon's home, alone, and hope to survive the night. In your campaign log, record that X Brood escaped into the wild, which is 3. 3 Brood escaped into the wild. If an investigator's deck contains the powder of Benghazi, remove it from the investigator's deck. Easy peasy. Each investigator earns experience equal to the victory X value, which is big 0. And that was it. We're just dejected and defeated. Oh, well. Should we say a few words for Carolyn? The hell? Carolyn was a fun investigator. I probably could have built her better, you know, to be honest. I had fun with her. I learned a lot. I feel like if I played with Carolyn again, I would do things a little differently. She was definitely fun. I enjoyed her a lot. I don't know what we're gonna do now. I had an idea about who to toss in here. And I'll get to that in a second. I don't think we're gonna keep the esoteric formula either. I think it's gone. Oh, Carolyn. Well, at least we didn't get any more trauma for Roland. But I don't know how he's gonna handle. He has like what, 1 healing card? Yeah, it's not gonna be good. And the only way I can see Roland even making it through the next scenario, honestly, is if he draws Keefies. You know? Because I can't... How? Like, how will he do it? If I remember, many of the times I've played, there's some sort of like creature, like a conglomeration of spheres or something attacking you. You know? Or maybe it's depending on how you did in certain scenarios. I don't remember quite exactly. Oh, it's so sad cleaning up Carolyn. But who knows, maybe I'll have a new investigator. I don't know how that would work into the story, so maybe we won't. Just toss the whole deck. We'll leave this here for now, just to remind us. Alright, these are gone too. Alright, well. We gained 0 experience. I don't think we've ever gained 0 experience. Okay. Alright, the next one is Where Doom Awaits. My god. But, you know, the rest of this can be housekeeping for me after. Whew. Okay. Well, we're nearing the end. And I know if you don't do well on this, I don't think you make it to this. And then I'm pretty sure no matter what, Roland can't make it through this. Because when we beat Irmadoth, he gave us 2 physical trauma and 2 mental trauma. If Roland gains 2 mental trauma, he's driven insane and is dead. So, does Roland attempt it alone? Maybe. But who could come with us? So, I'm going to try to do this as thematically as possible if I bring someone, right? So Wendy Adams is a drifter. So she could have been on the train. And so technically anybody could have been on the train with us. So if I really wanted to fight for anybody, I could do it that way. But I'm going to try to base it off the keywords here of the people. So for instance, a drifter, anyone with a drifter trait could have been on the train for sure. Right? So Wendy's an option. Criminals could have been on the train, except I think maybe not because Naomi's crew wasn't there. But I could also say that, for instance, Skids, an ex-con, could have been running from Naomi's crew, so he could have been on the train. Daisy Walker, I don't believe would be on the train. She's probably in the library in Miskatonic. Agnes Baker, I probably would say not, unless she was coming to do a job somewhere here, but in the village of Dunwich, like in a diner or something, but I don't think that's the case. So far we have just the 2 here that from the base set who have a chance. Dunwich Investigators. Ashcan Pete, definitely. Another drifter card. And he brings Duke along. Everyone loves Duke. Jenny Barnes, also a drifter. She has an interesting reason. Now, I haven't read her book, The Dirge of Reason. Or is it? No, that's not hers. Hers is Hour of the Huntress. But I do know her searching for Izzy card. Like, you can work that in. Zoe is a believer and a hunter. Now, I believe she also works in a diner. I don't think she works in the same one as Agnes. One of them works at Ma's boarding house. Maybe? I can't remember. But this one I could, because in her lore she... I think in her lore she hunts down monsters at night, because like God tells her to. So she's an option. But I don't know if I really want to do another Guardian. I know that's kind of been a theme, but... Rex is a reporter, so technically he could be. We did mention... I don't know if I mentioned him. I did mention him in the first one, so technically he's kind of in the story by name that we've created. Jim Culver is a performer. I don't really see him so much. He could have been on the train. Like I said, anyone could be. But I don't think there's anywhere to perform here unless he was passing by. So out of these ones, I say Ashcan, Jenny, and Rex. Now, I don't know how far I want to go into the further ones. I know I chose Carolyn from the Circle and Dun, but I feel like if we choose a second person, they will be continuing into Path to Carcosa, right? And they all have decent stat lines to to start with some painful memories here, but we can't always have somebody paired with a healer, right? Well, I don't even know if we have any more healers left. Okay, but if we were to Willie Rourke, the Gravedigger. Now, I don't think I would use him because he is in the graveyard in Arkham. I think that's where he works. Safina could be. She's an artist. She would go anywhere to draw stuff. Mark could be. He's a hard one to place anywhere, to be honest. So he's a guardian. We're probably going to avoid him. Mintai Fan, she's an assistant. Why would she really be going to Dunwich? Plus, she has good themes for the King in Yellow, so might save her for that or something like that. Akachi, once again, sorcerer. Now, from her backstory, I believe she came across the waters to Arkham, but I forget why. It's not here, but in her Arkham Investigators of Arkham story, I think it explains why she's around. And Lola just reads like, if we're gonna use Lola, it's definitely in Path to Carcosa. She's an actress. Forgotten Age gives us Calvin, who's a drifter. Now he would be interesting because he gets bonuses for damage on him. So like worst case scenario, just him even like being defeated and getting trauma and he makes it to the next, he just starts a little bit stronger, right? So he's a high contender. Finn, same reason as Skids. Leo, we're gonna just stick away from Guardians probably. Ursula, Wayfarer, she could be, but Dunwich wouldn't be the place she goes. Father Mateo, he could be, once again, but most likely not, because his backstory is he's like a priest in, I believe, Mexico, something like that. Circle Undone, Rita's a student at Miskatonic, nope. Preston, no. Preston, probably not. Carolyn's dead. Joe would maybe be, Joe would be an interesting one. Just like Roland, he's a detective, or Roland's FBI, but you know, he has a reason to be there, like he's a private investigator. You could easily come up with a story. Diana, you could play the whole cultist route, but it doesn't really play into the Silver Twilight route so much unless they were helping the Waitley. Is it the Waitleys? No. Bishops. Gloria, kind of the same reason as Jim. Patrice, cursed performer? No, I don't think so. Tony Morgan definitely would be cool, but he suffers the exact same stat line as Roland. Tommy Muldoon, you could say he was sent down there, but then again, that's another Guardian. Mandy, I don't see her being there. Luke is a drifter and a dreamer, so he could have been on the train for sure, but so. And then the promos would not be Norman, and it could be Silas, but I don't think so. He would rather be on a boat than on a train, I'll tell you that. Okay, so you've heard me ramble on about all these investigators. From the ones I've mentioned, or if you can make a good case for one of the others, please let me know who you think I should bring along, or if I should just continue as Roland by himself if you think he has a shot. Anything's possible. It's all random. I think I'm leaning towards a drifter. So Calvin is probably my number one right now. Ashcan would be interesting. Wendy would be interesting. I haven't played Wendy since I first got the game, I think. She's got a decent stat line to survive the whole thing. But then they would have level 0 decks, so they don't get any crutches from me. But yeah, so let me know what you think. Put an F in the chat for Carolyn. Oh man, it's so sad. Oh boy. Alright. The only good thing about a new person coming in is they just missed the add a weakness to your deck. Right? Because that sucks. Like, could you imagine if Carolyn had died in the last one and the person coming in immediately gets an extra weakness? And Carolyn already had an extra weakness in her deck by my own volition by putting in to fight against the Black Wind. But maybe that was a mistake the whole game. I don't know how many times that screwed me over. Okay, that's enough. We have no experience, so there's nothing to talk about upgrades. That's the deck right now. I didn't draw, I've had worse. I didn't draw Deny Existence. Yeah. Were those my only ones to block? Oh, and then there's Key of Yeast. I couldn't Hallowed Mirror because he was on me. Yeah. It's crazy. We'll do our best regardless. So we have 2 scenarios left, and then Season 2. I'll quickly talk about Season 2. I have 2 ideas for Season 2, and I'm leaning towards the second one. The first idea for Season 2 would be to start fresh in the Dunwich Legacy. Now, I don't like that one as much, but I'm putting it out there because if we want to do like a continuing story, right, through everything, which is my second option, we could. The reason the first option exists is we started here and we went through here, and season followed the core investigator we started with, right? And so if he die, well, he has to die here regardless, right? So Season 2, the way I want to do it would start here, bringing whoever survives this over here, and if no one survives this, then we start fresh here, and then we move on, right? But the first option is if people want to explore what it's like going from the core to Dunwich, and they want to see what it's like going from Dunwich to Carcosa, right? If people want to see I can't talk. People want to see Dunwich Legacy to Path to Carcosa as Season 2, I'll do it, it's fine. But I'm more inclined to do Carcosa to Circle and Dun, bringing whoever comes along here. And then we'll decide when this starts who's the core one. Because, for instance, if it's someone like Calvin, then he's actually starting at an advantage almost, you know? Almost. If anyone's... Calvin's a weird one. So, yeah. I've rambled on long enough. Probably for like 20 extra minutes than I needed to. Goodbye, Carolyn. The bell tolled for thee. I'll keep this around somewhere. We'll yeah, I don't know. There you go. Oh, Carolyn. We miss you already. I have to clean Carolyn's slate here. Sorry. There we go. No more tokens and cards to be tossed. It's very sad. Okay. I'm terrible at goodbyes, but I love you all. Have a good one, and we'll see you next time. Peace.